Hey there. So this little video is about two different spices. Okay, so a spice that we tend to use a lot of, but is not actually intended for food. It's actually intended for medicine. So you might be kind of like, oh, interesting. Garlic. We use garlic in everything, right? We might use garlic powder, like buy a big, huge form like this. We might use garlic cloves. But it's actually intended for medicine, and there's a lot of things that you can do with it to help heal, okay? Powerful, powerful herb. It has 5 of the 6 tastes. So every taste except for sour. So that's pretty intense, right? It's pretty powerful. It's said to be penetrating. So it's considered a rejuvenating herb, okay? Used in excess, though, it can create hyperacidity, high toxic heat in the blood. It aggravates bleeding and the sex drive. It can be grounding for Vata, though. So if you're more air type, then it can be very grounding. But it's a highly tamasic herb. And what that means is that it's dulling of the mind, okay? It decreases your sexual desires. So you might imagine, so take a paperclip, for example. Because it's so powerful, it's so penetrating, and we use it in excess, right? It can create an array of issues, an array of problems. So if you think about a paperclip, and you start bending the paperclip back and forth, overuse, over excess, too much, right? Eventually, it's gonna snap. Something's gonna break, okay? So you might be thinking, well, garlic, what the heck do I do now? What do I put in my spaghetti sauce? What do I put in my this, my that, whatever, right? There's other things that we can use, other powerful herbs that we can use. And this one is called Hing, okay? Or Asafoetida is another name for it. You want to be mindful if you pick this one up. You can probably get it at any health food store, Amazon, things like that. But it's said to be like a powder of the gods, okay? It smells very strong. So I love the smell, honestly. I love it. But it can take over your cupboard and your kitchen. So sometimes you can put it in like a strong, like a nice glass container like this and close it up. And I find it doesn't have that powerful smell everywhere. Or you might put it in 2 containers. That's another option too. Anyways, Asafoetida, Hing. It works wonders on the digestive system. So it is really, really powerful for those of us with those Vata conditions, those Vata issues. So it's used to break up actually arthritis in the joints. That's pretty interesting, right? It can soothe rheumatism. It helps to reduce seizures in epilepsy. That's pretty cool, okay? It removes stagnant food from the GI tract. This part is really interesting. And you remove stagnant food from the GI tract, but it can also help to break up impacted fecal matter, so part of your bowels, that's been affected as a result of eating heavy meats or eating processed lifeless foods. So we might have sort of things that are kind of stuck in the bowels in the system, and it helps to break it up to get things kind of moving again. And when we eat a lot of meats or when we eat a lot of those processed stuff, then that can put us into a tamasic, dull, heavy, tired, fatigued state. So that's pretty interesting as well, right? It smells great. In excess though, so you don't need much. In a recipe, I'm going to use like 1/8 of a teaspoon. You don't need much at all. But it is great. It smells really good. In excess though, same idea as with garlic, okay? It can have an array of issues, that hyperacidity and many, many other issues. So you just want to be mindful of that. So maybe consider using not so much garlic and just a little bit of Asafoetida instead. All right, that's all.